minutes away from Songwe. And we are trying to call them Awashiki Simu.
Who is he? A businessman, or pilot, a philanthropist, an activist, a social media influencer, or is he a biker? Today, we are going to look Khalif KAIRO's life history, including how he was raised up, his education, business ventures, activities, as well as his future endeavors. As we continue, please consider liking the video so that the YouTube algorithm can favor us. Grab your popcorn or coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Khalif KAIRO was born in the year 1996 and brought up in Kawangware slums, Nairobi. His exact date of birth in that year is not on public domain. He is a second-born as well as the only boy, with two other siblings, her elder and younger sisters. His growing up was solely by his mother, as his father was rarely in the picture. As such, to a larger extent, he was brought up by his mother. He studied his primary school education at Huduma and World Hope Primary Schools. World Hope School was under the sponsorship of white people from America. During their sporadic visits, they could bring with them some magazines and periodicals that inspired the reading culture in Cairo. He still cherishes the culture of reading to date. At the time of his studies, the 844 education system was still in place. He grew in a crime-prone neighborhood. He particularly remembers this incident that happened when he was 3 years old, where he was taken by his bigger sister to see the body of a person that had been murdered due to crime. He had been stabbed at the back of his neck, a memory he lives with to date.
I still remember he'd been stabbed over here.
Yeah.
And he was wearing a light blue jacket.
It made him hate crime. There were instances where his playmates would disappear, only to be confirmed later as murdered for involvement in criminal activities such as muggings or breaking into other people's business premises. KAIRO recalls of a number of incidences that his mother was a victim of bad boys in the hood, surviving muggings as well. However, KAIRO was brought up with proper Christian principles, something he credits his mother for as it made him grow up in the right way and finally becoming a reliable member of the society. He remembers another incident that occurred during the 2007-2008 post-election violence. In one of the nights, some people were passing by outside, and he remembers them as saying, "We cannot go hungry yet here is a shop," referring to Khalif KAIRO's mother's shop. However, they were lucky that time as it was not broken into. This serves as a proof of the kind of environment he grew up in. In as far his father was largely absent in his life, he contributed to his passion in cars during his tender age.
Because what my dad will do, he'd pick me and I'd drive. And he started doing that actually early. Because my first memory of magari ni nikiwa maybe 5 years old. So I've always grown up na setup yani ya kupenda magari.
He inspired KAIRO to love cars as well, as he was a cars lover and dealer. His passion extended to planes as he interacted with them in periodicals brought home by his mother. The readings must have given him a special opening to outside world from the humble dwellings in Kawangware, inspiring his fantasies, and finally inspiring his life path as seen at present. For his secondary education, KAIRO attended Dagoretti High School. He however confesses that he was not book smart as many could think or assume. He is recorded as saying that he attended multiple secondary schools as his mother also struggled to cater for his education. In Form 4, he was expelled on July 2014 for alleged attempt to burn down the school, making him do his final KCSE exams from home. They say that every cloud has a silver lining. It is during his expulsion from school that a tutor was obtained for him. The tutor, now an architect, taught him very well in the 2 months, more especially the mathematics that he had been poor at. KAIRO saw a very big difference with the whole time he had been in school. He finally scored C+ in mathematics, a greatly impressive improvement. One notable thing is his love for reading periodicals and business studies books only, honing his business acumen. Even now, he argues that there is a big disconnect between what is taught in school and the reality of life. Just like many people, KAIRO made friends with older boys in the neighborhood. While he was still in Form 4, he observed something unique about them. They seemed to lead fairly good lives, seen on impressive outfits and houses they rented. He knew that they were car dealers in yards around.
So these guys finished.
They got jobs as car sales representatives.
Kayad? Like in a Kayad?
Yeah, in a Kayad, yeah. So I'd see them and I'd see their lifestyle. I was like, if these guys make money from selling cars.
And he quickly made up his mind to venture into car selling once he finished school. This was, fortunately, in line with his interests in car dealership. A thin, young, and underage boy, he set out from one car yard to another in search for a job as a salesman. Many people could not believe in him. It was in this particular company that he met 5 people, and one of them was convinced to hire him after seeing his determination and daring spirit. All the other 4 were skeptical and dismissive. This marked the start of his car selling business in February 2015, right after Form 4. After 1 month, he managed to sell 2 cars, earning him a handsome 56,000 Kenyan shillings. Being young, he gave all the money to his mother. Surprising, isn't it? However, after 2 years' stint in the first company, he set out to freelance car dealership. In such an arrangement, he sold clients cars on commission, but without any company. That was a bit challenging as it was hard to gain the trust of his clients. However, he slowly gained traction for 2 years, where in 2019, they set out to form a company named Imports by KAIRO with some of his friends and acquaintances. They grew the company to a giant from zero. KAIRO was mostly in charge of company's social media pages, including defending it in the face of trolls and misinformation. Payments were channeled through his NCBA bank account, growing his credibility and even gaining huge loan limits. Things sailed on smoothly well until the weight that broke the camel's back set in. In 2022, Khalif KAIRO was allegedly double-dealed by his business associates. A seemingly tactic to get rid of him, they branded him a broke fellow only fed by them. It was the first time he trended on Twitter, as many people claimed to have now known that he owns nothing. This really discouraged him as his friends turned enemies published falsehoods about him. However, it was an incident that could forever change the trajectory of his life, as the decisions he made then really mattered. He learned critical life lessons, too. He left everything to them, including the well-performing social media pages and bank account. As soon as he finalized signing his resignation, a door of opportunities swung open. With the little money remaining, he registered his current company, KAIRO Limited, with plans to make it a global logistics company. Kai was his grandfather and KAIRO his grandma, hence a seemingly good way of honoring them. However, fate would optimize its primary dealership in cars. The foreign business networks he made before, as well as his mother, came in handy at the time. KAIRO learned a few critical life lessons. 1. To be prayerful. 2. To always know who and when to trust people and situations. He also learned that indeed, there are fake friends, and that in as far as you mean well to someone, he probably does not mean the same to you, hence the need to be keen out there always. Fast forward, KAIRO trained as a pilot, acquiring both the private pilot's license and on the way to finishing a commercial pilot's license course in Flight Star Flight Academy, Nairobi.
So I'm either studying. So you know the CPL.
CPL, now you're studying for CPL. Damn, yeah.
Studying for CPL.
CPL is commercial pilot license exams,
Commercial pilot exam.
On top of that, he has managed to register his second plane dealership firm named Jetman Global Inc., which has managed to deliver its first plane sale from South Africa to Kenya. Asked about his plans for the future, he envisions owning an executive airline, as there is a gap as opposed to regular airline business already saturated in the market. On a regular basis, he is seen visiting orphanages as a way of giving back to society. He also has a knack of bike riding once in a while, a sport he cherishes with his son. He acknowledges God's guidance in all his successes, as well as his mother's hard-working spirit as having spilled to him. Again, his life story is filled with critical life lessons that a contemporary young person should get inspiration from. Thanks a lot for watching, and until the next one, stay safe and bye-bye for now.